the end of the war to all the soldiers of Israel, that they're going to go in peace and they're going to come back in peace. We just had today, in the last 24 hours, 16 soldiers that just got killed. 16 soldiers, 16 heroes that just got killed. The highest level of tzaddikim. For what? For protecting and for fighting for our existence. Not Israel existence, the Jewish nation existence. Because the minute that Israel is going to be weak is the time that the Jews all over the world is going to be weak. This is fact. You see that 90% of the university in the United States and all over the world is against us. You know, one of my students told me something very smart. He said, you know what's the problem? By having university against us, that the future generation is against us. Do you realize? University and college is the most important schools and institute that we have to fight and not to lose them. You know why? Because the next president will come from there. The next vice president will come from there. The next leaders of the world is going to come from there. And 90% of them is against us. I'm talking about Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Stanford, Columbia, all of them. Name it all. I said 90, maybe 99%. The only decision that the United Nations made was one decision against Israel. Until now, the United Nations never condemns the Hamas for the Holocaust that they did, not even once. Nothing. The Hamas is righteous. Tzaddikim. Israel is at fault. United Nations, where all the nation is there, all of them except the United States and maybe few small countries, all of them is against Israel. The world is not in our favor. So when the soldiers is going to fight in Israel, he's not going to fight for the Jews that live in Israel. He's not going to fight for his life. He's going to fight for our existence. Every Jew in every place in the world depends on this war. How do we call it? Dr. Abraham, they call it Milchemet Mitzvah. A war of mitzvah. Same way that you keep Shabbat is the mitzvah. The same way that you put tefillin and mikveh is the mitzvah. The same way to range a war like this. Because we are fighting for our existence. If this is so, I will give you two advice what do we have to do. One advice and then one tips in Shalom Ba, in the Chinuch Eladim. Education of children. Today we're just going to start. So the first things I will tell you, and I saw it and I love this message. What do we have to do to be safe? What does the person have to do to be protected? And not to be afraid. And to be untouchable. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to reveal you a secret. That if you want to have a good mazal, in anything you do, livelihood, children, education, parnasa, briut, anything you want, if you want to be safe, if you want to make sure that not Hamas, not Hezbollah, I'm talking about even the devil, cannot walk into your house, you have to remember this class tonight. Because this class will change everything that you ever knew about this secret. They call this secret unity. Unity is the secret of everything. If there's any benefits that come from this war, and might be the greatest benefits, our enemies, but it's a great benefit. You know what's the benefits? The Jewish nation achieved unity like never before in the history of Israel. Never happened in the history of Israel. And there are 75 years that they had such a unity, that everybody loved each other. Why unity is so important? Rab Shlomo Miradomsk. Rab Shlomo Miradomsk writes a beautiful, beautiful example. A beautiful, beautiful explanation. Do you know why unity is so important? It's two reasons. The first reason is because he's asking the questions. I don't know if I ask these questions, remind me if I spoke about it. And if yes, I'm going to move to the next topic. Because I mentioned this concept a few days ago. I don't remember if I mentioned it here. And if yes, let me know. Rabbi Shlomo Radom is asking a question, and the question is like this. When the Jewish nation left Egypt, when they left Egypt, running away, the Egyptian was followed the Jews. And then what exactly happened? They bumped into the river, Yam Suf. And Yitzchak and Yam Suf, they got stuck. How did they get stuck? Between the rivers and behind is who? The Egyptians. What do you do when you get stuck in a sandwich situation? They call it sandwich situation. You know sandwich? One bread here, one bread there, and then pastrami. That's it, you're stuck. The pastrami is stuck. The salami, pastrami, corned beef, whatever you like. A little mayonnaise, just to make it smooth, but you're stuck. What exactly you do when you become, I will tell you in education. The first child, I'm sorry to say it, is the most miserable child. You know why? The first child is the most hard. I feel bad for him. Thank God, I'm not. By the way, in histories, who is the first child? Pick up your hand. So maybe I need to change the topic. Definitely I have to change. My wife is the first child. The first children, from some reason, was never the chosen one. There was never in the front runner. I don't know why. Maybe that's the reason. The first child was Cain. That the word came from Cain? No. The word came from Shet. Not Cain, but not beautiful. The Ham, Shem, Ve'afet. Noah had 3 children. The first one is Ham, Shem, Ve'afet, right? That the word came from where the Shem. Shem, beautiful. Continue. Abraham Avinu had 2 children, Ishmael and Yitzchak. Judaism came from where? The second child. Yaakov, what's his name? Yitzchak Avinu had 2 children, Esau and Yaakov. Where the Judaism came from? Yaakov, the second child. Yaakov Avinu had 10 children, 12 children. Where the world came from? Yosef. Yosef was the chosen one. Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest leader in the world history. Moshe Rabbeinu. What number is Moshe? Number 3. Did you realize that? David HaMelech, number 7. He's the last one. You know, unreal. Because in life, now I'm not talking about now the first child, but maybe the first child is miserable because the parents practice how to become a practice on the first one. And all the mistake that they do is in the first one. Did you realize that later on you become much better fathers? You don't have any more smacking, or you don't touch your hand. You start to speak with your children. You spend more time with your children. Later on, the first child is always the first one is always the miserable. That anything happens is his fault. They're always being beaten. They always smack, screaming, embarrassment. All the mistakes that we ever did, being parents, we're doing, unfortunately, in the first child. Don't worry, in the next few class, I will teach you all the secret how to educate your children. That you're not going to be afford to make one mistake with the children. Don't worry. Be'ezrat Hashem, with Hashem help, the next few weeks is going to be a session on education. You're going to be expert in how to educate, and I'm talking to myself as well. But until then, all our mistakes we did with the first child. Now the last child is always the favorite. Jonam Bazam, 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 and my love, my this, the one that's spoiled. You know which one I feel bad for? The sandwich. The one that nobody remember. The one that passing by. Pastrami, the pastrami one. Oy, oy, oy. Don't worry, I am also a sandwich. Don't feel bad being a sandwich. Dr. Chaim, you're a sandwich or the first one? I can say that. No, type A personality, I have to be the first. My wife, first, type A personality. Daniel Matatov, first, type A personality. Leadership personality is always the first. Strong and leaders, 100%. I got married, I didn't know how important it is to get married with the first one, but Baruch Hashem, we still survive 23 years until 120. Baruch Hashem. No, first one is always type A personality. Psychology, they call it type A, meaning leadership is personality. It's not a person that follows, it's a person that creates others to follow him. Because from young age, he was always the one that taken in charge and taking the responsibility. So, listen to this. If this is so, where we are in the sandwich. Where do we go to the sandwich? The Jews got stuck in a sandwich situation. You see, we went all the way to come back. And then, what exactly happened? The Torah will listen to what happened. What do you do when you get stuck in a sandwich situation? You pray. They went into God and they prayed. What exactly happened when they prayed? The devil, not only that they didn't get answer right away, the devil came against them. The devil himself. The Midrash writes, the Gemara bring it. The devil said, I don't understand. Why are you saving these Jews? Alanu ovdei avodah zarah, ve'alanu ovdei avodah zarah. God, why are you going to save these people? These people are idol worship. What's the difference between them and the Egyptian? And which benefits they had that the water will be split? You need to have a benefit. What kind of benefits they have? Brilliant, right? The only question I'm going to ask you today is, how come the devil just wake up now? Why, when God made the 10 plagues, 10 different miracles, the blood, the frogs, the makat bechorot, the devil never came and said, why are you making blood to the goyim and you don't make blood to the Jews? They are both idol worship. Why for 1 year that God is doing miracles on a daily basis, the devil never came to open his mouth? Do you understand the questions? When God made a miracle, want to make a miracle to split the sea, the devil already is against the Jews. And when God made the 10 different miracles and sent the Jews with unlimited money, you don't understand, each one of them came multi-billionaires. Each one. They came out singing, dancing. What a miracle! All the first babies of the Egyptian died. The whole nation collapsed. And the Jews left. And the devil never bothered. Why?
Because we are now united.
When?
Right by the Yam Suf.
Very nice. So if united, why the devil comes in? I agree with you 100%, yes?
Because they're trying to do something differently. In the time they were passive, they were just there, they were just miserable.
Okay.
They're not doing anything. Now they're trying to act, to mobilize, to change.
I know, but here, we did change.
So he's trying
By
to-
us leaving Egyptian, we left, we went. We went with the donkey, we went with the money, we went. We didn't start walking in the Yam Suf. It took us 7 days together. So we went. For 7 days we changed our status. From being a slave to be free people. Yes. Anyone else have the answer? Yes?
Maybe you can say that 80% of Am Yisrael died during Manat Choshen.
Emet.
So a lot of us, the majority, didn't want to go out to begin with. They were used to the slave mentality.
But for the 20% was quiet. It's still idol worship. Why the devil keep quiet? You know what the explanation is? You know what exactly happened in this war? 25 days ago we started a war. The unity that Israel have right now never happened before. The reason that we're going to win this war is because of that unity. Not because the weapons of Tzahal, the tank, not because the Air Force. You know how difficult it is to win this war? You know that we need 100-mile underground. 200, from here to Crown Heights, I believe is 6 miles, 5 hours. 2 hours is to walk. I'm not talking about running, I'm talking about walking. This is 6 miles. They build the whole city underground. What did they did above? They put hospitals, schools, buildings. And they have in Gaza, small place, they build unlimited tunnels, unlimited, unreal, limited weapons underground. We need not the Air Force, nothing, we need God. We saw today, one shot. We need Hashem to make miracles. And you know why God is going to make it? Because of unity. What do we see it? To be together. Crisis need unity. And you know what actually happens when you have unity? The devil cannot open his mouth. Even the devil cannot go against you. Not Hamas, the devil cannot. Because you become untouchable. The power of unity is the greatest blessing. If you and your wife every morning will wake up and look at each other and say, you know what? I'm so lucky to have you. I love you dearly. And your wife is going to look at you and say, my husband, you're wrong. I'm the lucky to have you. If I need to do it all over again, and not like Mrs. and Mr. Matatov that just got married. I'm talking about most of you that you're 20 to 25 years marriage. Imagine if your wife is looking at you and said, if I need to go the 10 years or 15 years that I was married with you, I will do it all over again. What a compliment is that? I will never even blink. I will say yes right away, even with all the balagan that I know. You know what's going to happen? The devil cannot step in your door. Nothing bad will ever happen to you in that day. Because unity is the greatest weapons that we have against anything bad in life. A minute that they achieved the water, what exactly happened to the water? How many opinions the Jews had when they got into the water? 4 opinions. One opinion said, let's jump to the water. One opinion said, let's fight. One opinion screamed to God, and one opinion, white flags. Each, the devil said, now we have 4 opinions. Okay. Borei Olam, you cannot save them. Why? They are idol worship and they are idol worship. Now the devil have rights to come to complain. As long that it was one opinion only, unity, no argument, the devil cannot touch you. But when he's separated, wow. How did the Pasuk say that? No. יחלק ליבם, אתה יאשמו. When your heart become division, now is the time to get you punished. As long that you are one, nobody can touch you. If this is right, this is answering another question. And that question is, you see, this week parasha, God is telling Avraham Avinu, go out from your tent. Go out from the tent. Right? ויוצא אותו החוצה. Go out from the tent. And then he showed you the star. He showed them the star. And in the stars, he told them, listen, go out because you are even above the stars. So, Malkiel, the Gemara explains, what's the meaning by Avinu? You see, Avraham Avinu was masterpiece and being zodiac. You know, some people, they know how to, they know the astrology, Scorpion, I'm Scorpion, my wife is Scorpion. Baruch Hashem, we still survive. 2 Scorpion in the same house, two type A personality in the same house. Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of miracles. Borei Olam berov rachamav v'chasadav. Now, Scorpion, some is, how do you call it, kashat, rainbow, some is lion, some is a tiger, some is a mouse. There are many zodiac, right? Which day you came to the world, what hour you came to the world, which year you came to the world. You have to know a lot of information to get the right zodiac. Now my question is like this, and anyone that knows the answer will get free lunch in any restaurant you choose, sponsored by Gabriel that came today late a little, because of that he's the sponsor. Thank you, Boshet, please, you can go to Holy Schnitzel, you can go Open Press, any place you want to go. You get free breakfast, free lunch, anything you want, even free dinners. But listen to the questions. The question is, see, like Talib opened his eyes, he said, I know the answer, I know the, I didn't even ask the question. I didn't, Dr. Rafam, don't make balagan. Listen to this. Yitzhak, I want you to be in focus. I will give you a healthy food, don't worry. The restaurant also have healthy, as healthy that you can get, that you're going to have a life, you and your wife, until 120. And Mrs. and Mr. Pinchasov, every week that I see you, I'm smiling. Everyone here, I'm smiling, but you especially, because you're the longest couples that come in here every week for so many years. It's my privilege to see you. It's my privilege that you come in to Wednesday night. Yeah, you do have competition, don't feel down to sleep. The competition is around. Baruch Hashem, don't get too comfortable in the chairs of being the winners. A minute you make few weeks mistakes, maybe I'm going to switch because they have other loyalty people. They're looking at you right now from all over. So don't.
It's okay. It's my neighbors.
It's never okay to be number 2. I'm sorry, this is not a Jewish answer.
But you were just
is telling us number 2 is the better one.
Ah, okay. Well, no, it was good. It was good. It was good. Why? Shlomi, somebody's listening. Why? My name is Rabbi Vaknin, and I approve this message. Why? So, brilliant. Okay, let's go back. The question is like this. Listen to the questions. God is telling Abraham, in the zodiac, I know what you saw. You saw that you're not supposed to have children. You saw that you're not supposed to have children. Not you, not your wife. But don't worry. You are above the zodiac. You are above Mazal. Being above Mazal, you're going to have children. Your name is not Avraham. Your name is Avraham. Avraham have no children, but Avraham will have children. Sarai have no children, but Sarah will have children. So what we understand from here, that the Jewish nation is what? Above. Beautiful. We have Gemara, clear Gemara, that the Gemara said, Benei Chayei Umezonei, Bemazale Tanya Milta. You know what I said? If you're going to have children or not. If you're going to be healthy or not. If you're going to get married or not. If you're going to have livelihood, if you're going to be rich or not. Doesn't depend on you. Depends on Mazal. Which Mazal you came in that day is going to be affecting forever if you're going to become rich or not. If your Mazal is the bad Mazal, not bad, maybe bad for Parnasa, you will never become rich. I believe that once I share with you the story, I will share it in a short version. My father, for 40 years, went every week to fill up the lotto. He had $5 or $3 or $5, like 10 shekel to 20 shekel every week. Dr. Chaim for 40 years. 40 years every week. 26 years. For 26 years, after 26 years, he wanted to go to send the lotto. So my son, my brother, one of my brothers, I'm not going to mention his names. One of my brothers said, Abba, give me the money. I will do it for you. You don't have to walk. So my father gave him the tickets, and he gave him the money. My brother went in, and he saw his friends. I don't know what exactly was the stories. They went into falafel, ice cream, cookies. And which money he paid their money? From the money of the tickets. Okay, my brother came late home. He came late. My father checked the tickets at 11 o'clock at night, right? 11 o'clock, they have the numbers, right? 10 o'clock, in the TV, they have the numbers. He came back, he doesn't believe. He's dancing. Dr. Chaim, 5 million shekel. True story that happened to my father. Not his story, not Sipur Tzadikim. He won 5, I'm talking about maybe 30 years ago. 30 years ago, 20, you know how much is 5 million shekel? 20 years ago? You can buy 50 houses. 50 houses, today every house costs 1 million. At that time, every house was 100,000 shekel. It was nothing. Today, go and buy a house in Israel. 3 million shekel, one house. And that 50 houses, unreal. You had money enough. He won. He asked my brother, where's the tickets? The only week from 40 years that they didn't send the ticket is the week that he was the winner. That I said that it depends on Mazal. And some people have the Mazal, some people will do everything and they're not going to have children. Each one of us know some friends that they never get married. They never got married. They are 50, 60 years old. Each one of us knows some friends that have and they got married young and they have no children or anything. The Gemara said clearly, to be healthy or not, it depends on Mazal. To have children or not, it depends on Mazal. To be rich or not, it depends. So my question to you, I don't understand. The Gemara is going against the Torah. The Torah said that God told Avraham Avinu, you are above Mazal. You have nothing to worry. And the Gemara said everything depends on Mazal. Who is right? How do we call it in Arabic? Contradiction. Can you answer the questions? Anyone that answered the questions can get.
Both are right.
This answer is amazing and good for Washington DC. When you say both is right, it's good for Washington Kapara. You can run. Now is election season. You can run into to become the president of the United States. I love it. Both is right. Baruch Hashem. Why both is right? Either or. Why both is right?
Because our actions determine whether we can change Matal or not.
See? Yeah, but the Gemara doesn't say the actions. The Gemara said that the Gemara is not specific. If the Gemara said, yes, but if we're going to do it, we can change. No, the Gemara said, in general, life, sustenance, money, and children depends on Mazal. Yes?
When you change yourself, you become a new person. So when you have a new person, you're already a different self.
You change the mazal.
So only when you change, only in order to change Mazal, you have to change your name?
Yourself. Like
You have to change yourself.
yourself.
What did the Gemara say? I agree with you, what the Gemara doesn't mention it. Yes?
It says that Esad and David have similar characteristics.
Who is it?
Esad and David are
Beautiful, beautiful.
similar characteristics. They were both born red, and they were born on
And one of them was the most righteous, the other one, okay, and?
because they had the same tendency, one used it for
Uh-huh.
one used it for Yerusha. So
Yeah, but this is regarding to children, having children or not. I'm not talking about when you come to the world.
Right, so here, let's say I'm not, if someone's not destined to have kids, if that's their mazal, but they can pray for someone else to have children, or they can have students. So their mazal might be not to have kids, but their students can be like their kids. So it depends how they use their mazal.
Yeah, but very nice. So why God didn't come to Abraham Avinu and said, pray to have somebody else's children, and you will never have children. I'm sorry. It's not your, it was not the mazal of Abraham. Abraham was not supposed to have children. Ladies, listen to the answer of Rabbi Shlomo Miradomsk. What's the topic of today in the beginning? The first topic is what? Unity. Come, Rabbi Shlomo Miradomsk can write. When you have unity, you know, it's one level to pray at home when you're alone. To pray Shacharit, Mincha, Arvit, to pray alone. Is another level to pray with Minyan. You know what's the power of Minyan? That there is no mazal with public. Public is always above mazal. When you become a public human being, when you pray with 10 people, you can change any decree you want. When you pray individual, I'm sorry, you have mazal. And maybe you mazal is not to have children. Maybe you mazal is not to become rich lo alenu. Maybe you mazal is not to be healthy lo alenu, God forbid. But when you join yourself to Klal Israel, when you join yourself to the tzibur, to public, then public have power above mazal. And a second, I'm going to give you the proof. One of the proof is that you realize that when we pray, we always said, Refaenu Hashem, Barech Aleinu, Shema Koneg. Do you know what I said? Please God, listen to us. Give us refuah. Give us parnasa. Give us wisdom. I don't understand. When you pray in Shemona Esrei, how many people pray? 1 or 10? 1. So which way you have to say? Give me or give us? So why do you say give us? Refaenu, make all of us healthy. Barech Aleinu, make all of us rich. Why all of us? You're one. I'm not talking about when the Chazan is repeating. I'm talking when you're praying. When you're coming into your wife and you ask your wife to do it, you don't say, make us scrambled eggs, cook for us breakfast. If you're the only one at home, and you say, cook for us, your wife might call the psychology. Oh, Gentukon, the guy lost it. What's the meaning? Cook us. How many people is here? You and me. What's the meaning, cook us? So why we coming to God when we pray alone? Said, give us. Who's us? One person. One of the answers that I saw is a beautiful answer. Because the only way to give us health, even if we don't deserve, the only way to make us rich, even though we don't deserve, the only way to give us wisdom, even though we don't deserve, is when we become public. When we have unity. Unity change mazal. Unity not only protect you from the devil, unity also change your mazal. If you have any issue, an obstacle, mazal, no problem. Come to your wife and said, you're not my wife and I'm not your husband. We are one. We. Us. I love you unconditional in this moment. The devil cannot step in your house. And the second thing that happens is, your mazal change. Where do we see it? Where do we see it? Avram is a personal name. Avraham is not personal. Do you know what's the difference between Avram to Avraham? What's the difference? Hey. The hey is making difference? Yes, I'm going to tell you what the Torah said. Abraham, ki hav hamon goyim ata. A minute that God changed his name, he made him the father of all nations. You become a public person, you are above the stars. You have nothing to worry. As long that he was Avram, Avrum, our friends, private names, then you're right, you're not supposed to have children. But the minute that you became a public human being, a minute that you became the father of the nation, come out from the gazer, from the stargazer. Just come out from everything because you are the greatest. You are above and beyond everything. I will end with this one. And today I'm going to give you only one advice because today is only the introduction. We speak about Chinuch Eladim. Today I'm going to give you one very, very crucial and important advice that you have to put in your mind. A minute that you're going to put it in your mind and you're going to install it in your mind and soul and in your mind and your heart, you're going to see that everything that happened between you and your child change. First of all is, that one we mentioned many times, we just mentioned it just to remind us, refresh. Shabechi Yerushalayim et Amonai. Shabechi Yerushalayim, one of the most famous songs. We're all praying for Mashiach to come. And then what's the most famous song about Yerushalayim? Shabechi Yerushalayim et Amonai. You realize that I'm not a singer, right? Because of that I choose to become a rabbi. One time we were singing, and the room from 500 people got empty. I got a message, and I went in to choose to be a rabbi. Everybody have to know his quality. So listen to this. And Shabechi Yerushalayim, they have secret for Shalom Bayit and Chinuch Eladim. Why? How do you write Shabechi in Hebrew? How do you write Shabechi in Hebrew? Beautiful. Shin, Bet, Chet, Yud. Shin stand, this is acronym. Shin, Shalom. Bet, Bayit. Chet, Chinuch. Yud, Yeladim. The secret of Shalom Bayit and Chinuch Eladim is one. What's the secret? Compliment. Singing. Not rebuking. Don't tell your child how wrong he is. Trust me, you know it. Your husband doesn't need to hear 10 times that he doesn't know how to put the shoes in that spot. He knows that he's making balagan with the shoes and with the keys. And he forgot to take the garbage. He doesn't need you to mention it 20 times a day. You know, and you're thinking that it will change. It will change in that's 5 minutes just to make you quiet. Just maybe not to get a fight. But a minute later he's still going to forget the garbage. And he's still going to put the shoes and nothing will change. You know why? Because none of you ladies willing to try the right ways. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that the husband is righteous. The husband is always at fault. We are expert to make all the mistakes and to drive our wife nuts. We're doing it professional. But a wife from some reason never willing to take the long run. They have a short run, a short ways, but it's taking long, or a long way, but it takes short. Which one is better? The short that takes long, or the long that takes short? Beautiful. I'm going to give you an example. To get here to Manhattan, you have 2 ways. One of them is to drive, and the other one is to run in, and they have a shortcut until the river. You know the river? The river that connects between Queens to Manhattan. You can go to the river, and what's the problem when you get to the river? You need a boat. So maybe from here to the river is 5 minutes, but if you have no boat, you have to swim. So maybe it's short, but when you get stuck in obstacle, it's going to be longer. But then they have the long way. What's the long way? To walk straight, or maybe to drive. It might going to take you 20 minutes extra, but you're going to get it. In life, we have the short run, and we have the long one. The short run is to scream on your husband. To scream and to shout and to make sure that the whole neighborhood is going to hear it. To embarrass your wife in public. To make a scene in front of all your friends. This is the short run. The short that you want your wife to react, boom. But you know how long is that? A minute that the guest left. A minute that you got relaxed. Your husband will never change. You know what's the long way? The long way is to give compliment. To wake up in the morning and to tell your husband, you know what, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have you. When I met my husband, I love you. When is the last time that we said to each other? Rabbi, I don't remember. Maybe 20 years ago. You know that if you're going to say it every day, you're not going to have to ask nothing from your husband. He will dance the whole week, the whole day to do everything that you wish, without even asking. How much it costs you? One compliment. One compliment. Just make a coffee to your wife. Coffee with the smiley cakes. You know the cakes? The smiley cakes? And you put it next to the bed. And you leave a note. My wife, you were the best decision that I ever made. How much dialogue can took you? 5 minutes. How much cost you the note? $3. The whole week, whatever you want to cook, lunch, dinner, breakfast, all day long, she's cleaning, washing, she's dancing with his ash. What exactly happened? But we don't like to do that way. We like to suffer to get to our step. We like to make balagan. This is our nature. Why you never try? Rabbi will never walk, my husband will never change. I will tell you, you're wrong. You know how I know? You never try. Don't tell me stories. Ladies, don't tell me stories. You never try. You never try to give compliment. Not for 10 minutes. For 1 month only. If in 1 month that you give a compliment, only 1 month, I'm not asking you 20 years. Your husband doesn't change, go back and come to the class and give a lectures. How what Rabbi Vaknin said is wrong. 1 month. Every morning, every night. My husband, I love you. You're the greatest. Thank you very much for doing this. Thank you. Just compliment. 1 month, and I promise you that you will never recognize your husband. But you're not winning. I know you're not winning. It's easy to scream and to get cuckoo and to scream and to go ballistics because he reacts much faster. 100% they react much faster. When you scream, he react. That he changed, no? When you scream and you chant, he react. That he changed, no? It changed now. 1 second, he's going to get to the age of 13, 16, 18, and then it's going to show you who changed and who's not. The first message of education to us and education to our children is Shabachei Yerushalayim. Glorified Yerushalayim. That's what my older brother, the Tzaddik, said. The second message is, and that's what I want you to remember. Listen to the message. A person, a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, a father and a mother have to remember. The children is not yours. The children is not yours. I'm sorry to disappoint you until now. You're coming with the attitude, how can I change my children? The word my children is a mistake. This is the first mistakes that caused all the other mistakes. The reason that we're making a horrible mistakes in education is because we believe that this is our children. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, and especially for the ladies that carry these babies for 9 months and putting their life at sacrifice and putting themselves in to deliver the babies and then to raise them. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the child is not yours. The child belongs, they are the children of God. And God gave us pikadon. How do you say pikadon to me? Collateral. He gave us his own children to protect. Beni Bechori Israel, you are my child, God said. Every Jew is the child of God. He's not the child of his parents. Yes, they have some partnership, but he's not your child. Yes, they have some 3 partnership, but he's not yours. You are partner with God, but the main one is God. God is the one that on. How do we know it? I will tell you a shocking story. The way that we start tonight. Rabbi Meir Balanes. Do you know Rabbi Meir Balanes, Gabriel? Rabbi Meir Balanes. Again, Ovadi. Do you know Rabbi Meir Balanes? Righteous. The biggest rabbi in the world. His wife was one of the most brilliant women in our history. She was Rabbanit. She used to give classes. She knew the whole Shas, the whole Poskim. You don't understand. Tanaim, giant, used to come to your classes. She was brilliant. One day, she came home in Shabbat, and the father, Rabbi Meir, went in Friday night to the synagogue, and he came back. Lo anenu velo alechem, none of us. Lo anenu velo alechem. What the story that the Gemara said. His own two children, she went to wake him up. They're young, to come to the Kiddush. They're both dead. Both of them died. What do you do when two children is dead? Lo anenu velo alechem, none of us. Both of our children, Rabbi Meir and Rachel, died. Now the husband said, "Where's my children for the Kiddush?" "No, they don't feel good. They have a little fever. I left them in the bed. Don't worry, tomorrow. Tomorrow is coming. No synagogues, no nothing. Where's the children?" She said, "Don't worry, they're going to come. They went to play with friends." Every second she gave him a different excuse. Motzei Shabbat, after the Havdalah, "I don't understand. I didn't see my children for 24 hours. Where's my children?" She said, "Come to the room." He went into the room. She didn't want them to cry over Shabbat. She didn't want them to be mourner on Shabbat. Because of that, she postponed it. What a woman. Now, she's going into the room and she said, "Before I open the door, remember one thing. Who gave us the children?" She said, "God." "The children belong to who?" She said, "God." "So our children is what?" So Rabbi Meir said, "Close the door." She said, "Beautiful." She opened the doors and she took the blanket. And he saw the two children. And she said, "Hashem Natan, Hashem Lakach." God gave, God took. May the name of God will always going to be blessed. This is not, we never lost. It was never belonged to us. That child was belonged to God. And God gave us that children for a period of time, hopefully our children until 120. Hopefully none of us will have to pass such a crisis. But why is it important to know that? What I'm telling you that is life. What I'm telling you today is a life-changing concept. You know why it's important for us to know? Because if this is not our children, so what are we doing in the children's life? What do? We are babysitter. We are the babysitter of the children of God. The benefits of being babysitter is what? You're going to get unlimited paid. Because they are not, you know, when you're coming into Shur Torah, somebody protects the children, right? Somebody is a babysitter down. You're paying money, right? Can you come and say, "You know what, I don't want to pay the babysitter"? You don't deserve. What do you mean you don't deserve? I protect you, I keep. Every Jew that have children and every child that you bring is another child of God. Because of that, children is guaranteed to become rich. You know why? Because you bring in children of God and you are the babysitter. And you can say, "God, you have to pay me." I'm doing an amazing job being a babysitter. I'm making food, I clean the house, I'm not only this. And I care for the children. I even change the diapers. I'm doing everything. They're sleeping. You're coming home and you see, right? We are the baby. If we are the babysitter, we deserve to get unlimited paid. But at the same time,
So how about you're saying the more kids we have, the more money we can
100%. Because now there's many children that you charge. But at the same time,
Some people think back
a babysitter have the right to punish. Sometimes you have to put the children like a rabbi in the school. I'm handling, yes, I know that I love my students like my own children. I know that I care for them like my own children, but they are not really my children. They are children of other parents. They just come into the yeshiva to study, right? I'm teaching 12th grade. So they come into the yeshiva to study. Can I smack one of them? Can I give them one smack? You know what's going to happen? Not only police, I'm talking about some of the parents will come in and they will say, "Rabbi Vaknin, can we step outside?" Two people stepping outside. Only one is coming back. Only one is coming back. Two people is coming. Let's step outside, let's finish it. You touch my child? You embarrass my child in public? Who give you the right? One time I went into yeshiva. It was a rabbi over there by mistakes. He called one of the Sephardic children by mistakes Schwarzer. Schwarzer meaning a black guy. And they call it in English, whatever. He called him a Schwarzer, black. The parents almost killed that rabbi. He said, "What? You call my son black in front of all the class? Who gave you the right? You're only a babysitter. You're here, we pay you money. We pay you the salary. You have to act with my children like gold, like children of kings. The same way. Our children is diamonds in our hand. We have to treat them like a diamonds. Nobody give you right to embarrass your child. Because you're not embarrass your child, you embarrass the child of God. And you don't want to embarrass the child of the king of the world. You don't want to abuse, you don't want to beat, you don't want to scream. You don't want to be, how do you call it, to break the spirit of, because God will get very upset. If somebody touch your child in the wrong ways, or the teacher maybe didn't beat him, but pull him so strong that he leave a mark in his hand. Are you going to be quiet about it? And even if yes, is your wife all the whole night, 2 o'clock, Ovadia, you have to go tomorrow to the school. And leave me alone. Go to the school. 4 o'clock in the morning, Ovadia. Tomorrow is 8 o'clock, you're in the school. But the school open at 10, who cares? 8 o'clock you're there. 6 o'clock in the morning, Ovadia Nets, Kapara, be prepared, 8 o'clock you're there. What exactly happened? What exactly? Somebody will leave a mark in my... Who gave us the right to act with our children? It's not our children. The children of God in certain ways. Every time from now that you're going to look at your children, remember, they're the children of God. And they're only collateral in our hand. We are a babysitter service. What a different outlook. What a different. You change everything that you know about your children. You have to spoil them, you have to give them everything that they want in the right ways. In the right ways. One rabbi wrote beautiful, I heard it from Rabbi Zamir. He said like this. He said one rabbi, I don't remember, Rabbi Volpa, he wrote beautifully, he said, you have to give everything that your children want. Spend on them everything. 2 conditions. That is not going to hurt them. Not physically and not emotionally. If your child wants an iPhone or smartphones, and you're going to give it to him, you're going to hold them spirituality. So you cannot do it. If your child wants candies, unlimited, you're going to hold them physically. For certain people, like Dr. Aaron, it's going to be good for business, but for the children, it's not, because they're going to have cavity, and then root canal, and then balagan, right? So it's not good. So you cannot give them. But if the things that they ask will never hold them, not physically, not spirituality, spend. Spend as much because they deserve it. You know why they deserve it? They are the children of Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They are the children of the King of the universe, the Almighty God. What a message. Remember that we spoke today about unity. Unity is above all. When the minute that you have unity in your home, the devil cannot touch you, and any mazal that you have, you can change. Remember that we spoke about Shabechi Yerushalayim. Glorified might take a little longer. Compliment will take might be a little longer. But you change your husband forever. You don't need to ask anything that you wish you will do. And remember that as well with your children. I compliment. And remember that they are not your children. Ladies, they are not your children as well. We are only babysitter service. We have things that we are allowed to do, and we have things that we're not allowed to do. Hopefully, we're going to choose to act with our children like children of God. And Borei Olam will pay all of us to see joy and laughter, to raise our children and his children. לתורה, לחופה ולמעשים טובים, let us say amen. Thank you very much. Anyone that want to help these families, please let me know right away. I'm going to handle it. I'm going to send you right away the
Say it again, people didn't hear it.
yes. Anyone that want to help the families at crisis from New Zealand. My chavruta in the yeshiva. My chavruta in the yeshiva, his own daughter and his son-in-law went in to become messengers, shluchim in New Zealand. And happened to be, lo alenu, that last week, the end of last week, the husband did accident. His wife died right away. Lo alenu v'lo alechem. and they have 2 children that they are, Baruch Hashem, alive, 2 young babies. One of them is even a baby. If each one of you can support money-wise, I will send you and I will give you the text message, the Zelle numbers. It's the Zelle. Shlomi, do you have the Zelle? Dr. Chaim, do you have the Zelle? I sent you the Zelle, I believe. I know, but do you have the Zelle? Anyone here have the Zelle? Got the Zelle? Yes. Can you show me? I want to share with everybody. Yes, right now, please. Please, if you can send 100, 260, 500, 1,000, we need money to these families. 2 orphan children. One of the daughters passed surgery in New Zealand. Baruch Hashem, she's safe and sound. A husband that is a widow, we call it. The Almighty God will pay all of you by helping, by sending this help, that you're going to raise your children, לתורה, לחופה ולמעשים טובים. And you're going to see joy and laughter in your life. The Almighty God will give you unlimited wealth. Be'ezrat Hashem, with everything that you do. The Zen number is BJCC Center at Outlook.com. Again, BJCCENTER at Outlook, OUTLOOK.com. BJCCcenter.com, and put in the memo New Zealand tragedy in New Zealand. Thank you very much, and the Almighty God will bless all of you, and all the soldiers of Eretz Israel, and all the one that they captures. God will release all the one that was captured. Be'ezrat Hashem b'shalom, and will give us Mashiach Tzidkenu. Let us say amen. My name is Rabbi Asher Vaknin, and we impove this message.